Here at the Angel Church, over the next few weeks, we're asking the question, why Christianity? Out of 4,500 plus religious belief systems in the world today, what makes Christianity unique? Now, in the Bible, there's a book called Ecclesiastes. It's written by a man who's said to be the wisest man who ever lived, King Solomon. And in the book of Ecclesiastes, we read of this search for significance that Solomon has, this quest really for identity. He tries philosophy, he tries pleasure, he goes after various work projects. He tries to find fulfillment and significance in property that he owns, even the property of people. He actually has slaves. There's prosperity that he experiences, but then none of that actually does it for him. So he lives a promiscuous life and tries to find satisfaction and significance and meaning in his relationships. Then there's power. He says that he was the most powerful king of that land, more powerful than those who came before him. And doubtless, when you read Ecclesiastes, you come away with this sense of a man who has everything, yet at the same time is completely unfulfilled and empty. He lived a very productive life, but he still is lacking an important piece. Throughout that book of Ecclesiastes, Solomon says that life seems a bit meaningless. It's all a bit in vain. Maybe that's where you're approaching this video right now. Maybe you are lacking any sense of meaning. Maybe you feel like your life, everything you do, everything you have is a bit pointless. Well, it's extremely important that you think through what life is really about and whether or not you actually are attaining the life that you're meant to live. Why is it worth thinking through what life is really about? Well, first of all, you need to consider your identity, who you are. Then you need to ask a question concerning meaning. Like, what is your life's meaning? How are you? Are you fulfilled in life? Is there something missing? Is there some vacancy that's there? What is your purpose? And what is your destiny? Why are you? And where are you going? Is this all there is in this world? Is this all that we know of life? Or is there more to come? The philosopher Seneca said, it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Life is long enough and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. But when it is wasted in heedless luxury and spent on no good activity, we are forced at last by death's final constraint to realize that it has passed away before we knew it was passing. He goes on to say, so it is. We are not given a short life, but we make it short. And we are not ill-supplied, but wasteful of it. Life is long if you know how to use it. In more recent pop culture, Carl Pilkington in The Moaning of Life said, a life without death would be like a day without sleep. And indeed, he touches on something that there is very common to our experience of life, that element of grief, that element that brings much sorrow and sadness, but that we're all too familiar with, death. I recently attended a funeral of an elderly woman, and this funeral, of course, had its share of individuals mourning. It had a real sense of hope at the same time. The same week, I had heard the news of a 19-year-old young man who I knew who died in a car accident. One 19, the other 90. Death can come at any time. And it's important that we ask the question, are we ready to face death? Have we lived a life that's filled with meaning? Do we know who we are? Christianity, Jesus Christ actually answers that core question of identity. He tells us what life is all about and how we can find fulfillment. He tells us why we are, and he also challenges us regarding our ultimate eternal destiny, where we are going. Solomon has this solution. He doesn't continue to go in this cycle of insignificance and futility. He, at the end of his book, Ecclesiastes, says, this is the answer. This is where it's all at. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Then there's meaning. I've come that you may have life and have it to the full, Jesus says. He gave us a purpose. That purpose being to love the Lord our God with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our strength, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. He also speaks concerning our destiny. It is appointed for man to die once, and after that comes judgment. Why consider Jesus? Jesus' life had an unrivaled global impact. Jesus' teaching was backed up with amazing works, and his claims about what life is about are so significant that they must be considered. What I want you to do is to go away and ask yourself the question, should I consider Jesus? Maybe you've approached this video and you yourself are experiencing somewhat of an identity crisis. Maybe you lack a sense of meaning or purpose. Perhaps you've asked the question, is this what life is all about? Surely there must be more to life than this. Well, there definitely is. And I pray that you'll continue to tune in to our videos online as we seek to unpack why Jesus, why Christianity. And I pray that you'll come to find the same hope and the same trust that I have in Jesus as my Savior and Lord.